A healthy ecosystem fosters prosperity, while its decline spells collapse. In the East, 75 years of New China's extraordinary journey has seen billions of its people, through hard work and dedication, bring to life a grand vision called Beautiful China. Balancing ecological preservation with economic prosperity is a clear goal in China's modernization journey. Today, standing at a promising new starting point, we continue along the path of ecological progress, building a greener, more beautiful, modern China. Most lands east of the Tropic of Cancer are covered by deserts and sparse savannas. Yet in southern China, a rare oasis shines like an emerald gem. In this arid belt, Dinghu Mountain National Nature Reserve has over 98% forest coverage. Here, students measure tree diameters to calculate the carbon sequestration of a single tree and an entire forest.
This tree, as it grew to this size, captured 23 tons of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere.
Today, China's forests are the backbone of its carbon sink, contributing around 80% of the nation's total. Forest coverage has risen to over 24%. But 75 years ago, the story was starkly different. At the founding of New China, years of war had left the land devastated, with forest coverage at just 8.6%. In 1955, the CPC Central Committee called for a greener China, launching an ambitious nationwide reforestation campaign. A year later, China established its first nature reserve in Dinghu Mountain. Even in an era focused on survival, environmental protection became a priority.
When the concept of nature reserves emerged, my father was among the first generation of researchers to lay the groundwork. They led their teams through mountains and rivers, facing enormous challenges as pioneers. What they left behind wasn't just forests and waters. It was a legacy of immense ecological and economic value. Welcome aboard to our new team members.
In the autumn of 2023, a new generation arrived to carry on this spirit, taking up the work their predecessors began. Saihanba, whose name means beautiful highland, was once a lush paradise. By the early days of New China, overlogging and wildfires had turned it into a barren wasteland, where sandstorms blotted out the sky and birds found no place to perch. In 1962, 369 young pioneers from across the country answered the call to restore Saihanba, launching a historic reforestation effort. The harsh climate and barren soil proved formidable. In their first year, less than 5% of the saplings survived. But adversity only strengthened their resolve.
The 1964 Battle of Matikong was a decisive initiative led by the Party Committee of the Central Farm to succeed at all costs.
They worked tirelessly for over a month, planting 516 mu of large saplings, with an astounding 96% survival rate. That success sparked a generational effort. Over decades of dedication, Saihanba's barren land was transformed into the world's largest man-made forest.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2017 Champion of the Earth for Inspiration and Action in China's Saihanba Afforestation Community.
In 2017, Saihanba Forest Farm in Hebei Province was honored with the Champion of the Earth Award by UNEP.
When we went to Nairobi to receive the award, UNEP Executive Director Erik Solheim asked in disbelief, "Did you really plant this entire million-mu forest?" The next year, he visited Saihanba himself. After seeing it firsthand, he gave a thumbs up and said, "The Chinese people are truly extraordinary."
Green is a symbol of life and represents the future of humanity. Saihanba's vast green landscape showcases China's contribution to global environmental efforts, exemplifies Chinese resilience, and sets a model for the world. As one of the largest countries on Earth, China's natural resources vary greatly across regions. The Hu Line, a significant geographic and population density divide, runs from Heihe in Heilongjiang to Tengchong in Yunnan, aligning with the 400 mm annual precipitation line. North of this line lies the Three North region, home to 8 major deserts, 4 large sandy areas, and expansive Gobi terrain. It is China's most fragile ecological zone, with sparse vegetation, vulnerable ecosystems, and a critical shortage of ecological resources. Babu Sha, on the southern edge of the Tengger Desert in Gulang County, gets its name from the saying, 8 steps to the sand.
At the time, my family of over 10 people had only 8 mu of farmland. Strong winds and sandstorms destroyed our wheat seedlings by April or May, leaving us with nothing.
Fighting poverty meant fighting the sand, which in turn meant planting trees. In 1978, the Three North Shelter Belt project was launched, starting large-scale ecological restoration in China. The project spans 13 provinces, regions, and municipalities, along Xinjiang Production Construction Corps' 725 counties, covering 45% of China's land area. Planned in 3 stages, over 8 phases. The project will continue from 1978 to 2050. In 1981, Wangung's father and 5 other villagers founded the Babu Sha Forest Farm through a joint household contract, vowing to fight the desert inch by inch.
With donkey carts, they carried water and tools, reclaiming only 100 to 200 square meters of desert daily, far short of their goal of 400 square meters.
From the moment they pressed their red-inked fingerprints onto the contract, the 6 elders of Babu Sha vowed to green the desert without stopping. They also agreed that each family must appoint a successor, ensuring the mission would continue for generations. Since the 18th National Congress, President Xi Jinping has visited the Three North region many times, calling for strengthening the shelter belt system and advancing ecological projects. In 2019, during his visit to Babu Sha Forest Farm, President Xi stressed that ecological awareness is deeply ingrained in society. He urged the continuation of the modern-day Yugong spirit of the 6 elders, calling for persistence and long-term commitment to building an indestructible green Great Wall.
Are we confident we can reclaim the last 30,000 mu of desert in Gulang County?
Yes.
In June 2023, the Three North project entered a decisive phase, launching 3 key restoration campaigns. The descendants of the 6 elders are fulfilling their forebears' promise. Modern equipment has replaced the buckets and shovels of the past. Gulang County achieved the first major victory in reclaiming desert land along the Heshi Corridor and the edge of the Taklamakan Desert.
In 5 years, we restored as much land as in the previous 30 years. Government policies are now more targeted. and national investments are stronger than ever. Our elders once doubted it was possible to tame the desert. How could humans control nature? But today, we know that man can conquer nature is no longer just a slogan.
Since the 3 North project began, forest coverage has grown from 5.05% to 13.84%. Over 45% of treatable decertified land has been restored. 61% of soil erosion areas are now under control. And 450 million mu of farmland are protected. In 2018, the program received the United Nations Strategic Plan for Forests Award.
The scale of the 3 North Shelter Belt program and similar afforestation efforts is massive. It demands significant manpower, resources, and funding, and spans decades. Such success is only possible with the consistent, strong leadership of the CPC Central Committee. Since the founding of the new China, remarkable progress in ecological restoration has been achieved, thanks to steadfast party leadership.
Let's go, Sway, for our daily patrol.
By September, temperatures here drop below 10 degrees Celsius. Gua and his team mount their motorbikes and head out as usual. Among the program's 3 major campaigns, Yellow River Great Bend rehabilitation is the most critical. Ulan Suhai Lake, the area Gua's team protects, sits at the top of the Yellow River's Great Bend. It's the largest wetland lake in the Yellow River Basin, and one of the rare grassland lakes in arid and semi-arid regions globally. Known as the Pearl Beyond the Great Wall. At this crucial bird habitat, Gua and his team spot white spoonbills, gray geese, and black-headed gulls through binoculars. Today, the Ulan Suhai Lake wetland hosts around 260 species of wild birds, with 200,000 migratory birds arriving annually to breed and rest.
We monitor their flights and feeding patterns. If a bird looks too weak to fly, some just can't lift off. We check if it needs rescuing.
Migratory birds are the first to sense environmental changes. This is one of the most visible signs of Ulan Suhai Lake's ecological recovery. Today, its lush greenery and clear waters make it hard to imagine its troubled past. In the 1990s, reduced water inflows, combined with upstream industrial and agricultural waste and domestic sewage, left the lake's water quality below Class V. The lake shrank from 800 to under 300 square kilometers since New China's founding. Generations of fishermen had to seek new livelihoods.
The stench was unbearable. Fish disappeared, and so did the birds.
Even with licenses and gear, we couldn't catch enough to survive.
A major turning point came around 2019, with the launch of the MRFFLGD Restoration Pilot Project in Ulan Suhai Lake.
President Xi's vision. Mountains, rivers, forests, farmlands, lakes, grasslands, and deserts form a living community. Guided the effort, emphasizing the interconnectedness of all ecological elements. We once tackled issues in isolation, treating symptoms as they came. Now, we look at the big picture, monitoring biodiversity, the overall ecological health of Ulan Suhai Lake, and how production and lifestyles across the basin are evolving.
Restoring a complex ecosystem requires more than just addressing water issues. The Ulaanbaatar Desert Comprehensive Management Project, a sub-program of the Restoration Project, has introduced innovative approaches to sand control. One strategy pairs saxal trees with cistanche, merging sand control with economic growth for a win-win solution.
We carefully balance the growth of saxal trees and cistanche, limiting each tree to 1 or 2 plants. This keeps the trees thriving while ensuring a solid cistanche harvest, a true example of harmonious coexistence.
President Xi emphasized managing the MRFFLGD life community as a unified ecological system. The inclusion of deserts highlights the urgency of combating desertification, adding a vital new dimension to ecological governance. Years of persistent efforts have reduced the Ulaanbaatar Desert sediment flow into the Yellow River from 77 million tons annually to just 3.7 million tons. The shift from protecting a single lake to restoring an entire ecosystem has revitalized the Ulan Suhai Lake.
As we enter a new era of development, fresh strategies for ecological progress and sustainability are essential. Managing these interconnected elements as a unified system ensures they support, depend on, and sustain each other.
Every green space on China's map is a priceless ecological treasure. Restoring the land and renewing its vitality, China has become the first country to achieve zero net land degradation, reducing both desertified and sandified areas. Since 2000, a quarter of the world's new greenery has come from China. At a rural engagement ceremony in Fujian, 2 brides received an unusual gift.
This carbon credit is for you as you start your new life together.
Treasure and pass it down so our children can benefit from ecological wealth.
In Chanko village, gifting carbon credits as part of a dowry has become commonplace.
Our factory emits carbon, and our trees absorb it.
The mountains and forests offset emissions, and the factory pays for the carbon they capture.
In May 2021, at the first forestry carbon credit ceremony in Sunming, Chanko village received China's first carbon credit, numbered 0000001. This credit covered 3,197 mu of public forests, offsetting 12,723 tons of carbon over 5 years. It sold for over 140,000 yuan, which was distributed as income to the villagers, turning carbon credits into real financial benefits. At the village entrance stands a monument, marking the transformation of natural resources into assets.
In April 1997, while working in Fujian, Xi Jinping visited the village, standing before the pristine landscape. He said, "Lush mountains and clear waters are invaluable treasures."
Fujian, China's greenest province, has led the nation in forest coverage for 45 consecutive years. But decades ago, villagers struggled to understand how to turn their rich natural resources into opportunities for growth. In 2000, as governor of Fujian, Xi Jinping introduced the concept of an ecological province. He spearheaded the general plan for Fujian ecological province construction to emphasize balanced development, accelerate progress through protection, and strengthen protection through progress. The goal was to turn ecology into an economy, delivering real benefits to the people.
Xi Jinping didn't separate ecology and development, he saw them as interconnected, embodying the belief that lucid waters and lush mountains are invaluable assets. This approach redefined ecology as integral to sustainable development.
A new mindset unlocks possibilities. From allocating forest land to issuing ownership certificates, Fujian drives innovations to revitalize forests. In late 2019, Sunming became the first in China to introduce the forest share system. Like original stock shares, forest shares allow villages and villagers to partner with state-owned forest enterprises, with the companies managing reforestation and forest protection. While villagers and collectives earn full profits without direct involvement.
Forest shares are like cash. Investing 100 yuan today might grow to 1,000 or even 2,000 in the future, because the forest keeps growing, like a child maturing. This new way is a game changer, bringing future earnings to us now.
On July 26, 2024, China's first market-based forest share trade took place at Sha County's Rural Property Exchange Center. After several rounds of bidding, the deal closed with a 16.19% premium. Protect the green mountains, and they'll reward you abundantly. From forest shares to carbon credits, Sunming's forestry rights market is thriving, expanding from local to provincial levels. The vision of thriving without felling trees is becoming a reality.
We think of ecological resources as the one, and the industries, products, and economic value they generate as the zeros that follow. Our reforms focus on two priorities: supporting the growth of forestry industries and improving mechanisms to realize the value of ecological resources, and transform natural beauty into wealth to bring beautiful China to life.
Forests and greenery are the wealth of a nation. In 2005, Xi Jinping, then Secretary of the Zhejiang Provincial Committee, proposed that lucid waters and lush mountains are invaluable assets. By 2017, this philosophy was formally written into the party constitution. At the 19th National Congress, and in 2024, the third plenary session of the 20th Central Committee called for accelerating systems to implement it, focusing on realizing the value of ecological resources. Indonesia's ambassador to China, Johori Oratmangan, recognized its significance early on.
If I'm not mistaken, these words coming from President Xi back in August 2005. The development philosophy embodies of this saying from President Xi, meaning that we have to find the balance or harmonize among economic development, protection of environment, and of course, for the benefit of the people and its culture.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Steel Night Island.
In September, the lush greenery and flowing streams of Dalong Steel Culture Park, Xingtai, drew many visitors. This site, built within a steel plant, is the first Quad A-rated national tourist attraction in China, to be based at a steel enterprise.
Look how much has changed.
71-year-old Liu Yudong returned to the place he once worked 11 years ago.
The transformation is incredible.
Within the steel park stands a preserved converter furnace, a testament to the early glory of Xingtai's steel industry.
We earned around 500 to 600 yuan a month, while other industries paid 300 to 400 yuan. I felt really proud of that.
Sparks flying and thick smoke rising once symbolized the nation's rapid economic growth. In 1996, China became the world's largest steel producer, surpassing 100 million tons of output. However, this historic achievement came with serious environmental consequences. Qingtai, a major steel city, once ranked last in air quality nationwide.
From the mountains, the city looked like it was trapped under a giant black pot.
In 2013, smog dominated headlines, with 4 major events in January alone affecting 30 provinces and cities. Air pollution plagued the skies, but its roots were on the ground. China responded decisively and declared war on pollution. In 2012, the 18th National Congress made ecological civilization a key part of the National Development Framework. For the first time, ecological civilization was written into the party constitution, establishing the vision of a beautiful China as a national goal. In 2013, China launched its Air Pollution Prevention and Control Action Plan, its first comprehensive initiative to tackle pollution. It also became the first developing country to implement large-scale PM2.5 reduction measures. All 31 provinces signed air pollution control agreements, pledging to fight for blue skies.
There was no limit to environmental investment.
If attitudes didn't change, leadership would.
By cutting steel production capacity and restructuring industries, Hebei cut steel smelting companies from 123 to 39. Traditional sectors underwent green, low-carbon upgrades. By 2022, all 11 cities in Hebei had moved out of the bottom 10 in the national air quality rankings among 168 key cities, ending its status as the most polluted province. This tree, planted by Liu Yudong before retirement, has grown over the past decade, reflecting the transformation from smog-filled skies to a norm of clear blue.
When I planted it, it was just a sapling. Now, 11 years later, it's thriving just like our environment and the steel industry.
Hebei's efforts are a snapshot of China's unified fight for cleaner air. In 2015, the Action Plan for Prevention and Control of Water Pollution was introduced, followed by the Soil Pollution Prevention and Control Action Plan in 2016. These created a comprehensive blueprint to tackle air, water, and soil pollution. In 2018, clear goals were set for 2020. Win the battle for blue skies, protect clean water, and restore clean soil. Extraordinary challenges demand extraordinary solutions. Breaking old development models is key to unlocking new opportunities in ecological preservation.
Look, fish.
In Taicang, south of the Yangtze River, a once barren mudflat is being transformed into the Yangtze River Forest Adventure Park, blending agriculture, culture, and tourism.
After spending a day here, I feel proud knowing our company played a role in building and maintaining this park.
In 2023, Taicang launched China's first industrial land auction with capped prices and an ecological focus. Lin Yan's company secured 69,000 square meters of industrial land. Unlike traditional land auctions with uncapped bids, this sale capped the price at 53.13 million yuan, slightly above the starting price of 52.09 million yuan. Once the ceiling was reached, bidding shifted to ecological investment. with the highest offer winning.
In the old model, land sale revenue went to local budgets, and ecological funding depended on financial constraints. This new approach ensures that ecological investments have clear targets and accountability.
The winning bid contributed 1.46 million yuan for afforestation and forest management. With funds directed to projects like the Yangtze River Forest Adventure Park, through company-government collaboration. Driving green, low-carbon development is a cornerstone of the party's modern governance, and a key step toward building a society where people and nature thrive together. President Xi has emphasized integrating green development into every aspect of economic and social progress. On the shores of Taihu Lake, a factory runs non-stop, producing fiber optic preforms that once turned into cables could circle the Earth 2,000 times annually.
We optimized cooling systems with natural airflow, cutting water use and energy cycles, and reduced temperature-controlled space in our facility. These measures cut water, electricity, and gas use by over 24%.
Green manufacturing is vital for sustainability. But greening the supply chain is challenging. This national-level green factory faced tough transitions.
Silicon tetrachloride was the industry standard for fiber optic preforms. Though profitable, it was far from sustainable.
Located just 300 meters from Taihu Lake, in Suzhou, the factory had to adapt to stricter environmental regulations.
Being told to pause production was hard to accept, but as standards tightened, upon further reflection, we realized that the traditional methods we used in the past would not have a future.
Faced with no other option, the team achieved a breakthrough, becoming the first in China to use eco-friendly organic silicon as a replacement.
This recyclable material contributes to a sustainable supply chain.
To ensure products meet higher green standards, the factory has implemented strict supplier policies for approval, management, and renewal.
All suppliers undergo annual reviews, focusing on carbon emissions, clean energy usage, and energy-efficient technology.
Today, China has certified over 5,000 green factories, 600 green supply chain enterprises, and nearly 400 green industrial parks. Green development is a hallmark of Chinese modernization. The Ningdong Energy and Chemical Industry Base is a key national energy hub, and Ningxia's economic lifeline.
Let's go.
A remarkable transformation is unfolding. It's hard to believe. This white fiber, strong enough to tow a car, comes from coal.
It's flame retardant, self-extinguishing, and drip-free. Each ton sells for over 100,000 yuan.
3 kilometers away, another company produces a coal-based chemical product in high demand.
This is EVA, a product we launched this year. It sells for 11,000 yuan per ton. Shiny as it looks, it's made from coal.
On the edge of the Muas Desert lies a 3,500 square kilometer expanse, rich in one of China's rare integrated coal fields. Under carbon peaking and neutrality goals, Ningdong is reimagining coal. From a fuel to a raw material. Shifting from selling by the ton to the gram. Even traditional coal industries are forging greener paths. At Liu Yuanguan's company, one of the base's key chemical enterprises, an agro-solar power station, is expanding.
How's the progress? Is everything on track?
Everything's going great.
This once barren desert now hosts photovoltaic panels, with wolfberries growing below. Solar panels above, restoration below. Green energy not only reduces costs but also powers transformation. By using renewable electricity, companies produce green hydrogen through water electrolysis, replacing coal to manufacture high-end chemical products. This breakthrough creates a carbon-neutral path that combines advanced technology with economic feasibility.
With green hydrogen, the efficiency of coal conversion and utilization can increase by up to 25 to 30 times.
Under the dual carbon goals, increasing green power consumption and advancing renewable energy have become essential. Green electricity certificates and green power trading are now embraced as key to sustainability.
Businesses can plan ahead by estimating their power needs and setting price expectations.
Leo Chunyu is a business manager at a power trading company. On this day, Leo visits a power service center to explore options for green electricity procurement.
More and more operators are approaching us to buy green power. They want to support renewable energy and provide charging services for EV owners.
50 kilometers away, Lingung Smart Computing Center is a top green power buyer. Its adoption of green computing power is giving its resident companies a competitive edge.
We're working toward going public, so we've set high standards for ourselves. We embrace the dual carbon strategy and green computing to drive sustainable growth.
So far this year, the company has purchased 150 million kilowatt-hours of green electricity, doubling last year's amount.
Nationwide, in the first 5 months of 2024, green power trading rose 254% year-on-year, while green certificate transactions surged by 1,839%. Each green certificate represents 1,000 kilowatt-hours of renewable energy generated and consumed. Green power and green certificate trading are key to expanding renewable energy in the market. China's renewable energy is scaling up at an unprecedented pace. By the end of June 2024, the combined capacity of wind and solar power had surpassed that of coal, making China home to the world's largest power supply and clean energy system, contributing over 40% of the global growth in non-fossil energy consumption. From 2013 to 2023, China's economy grew 6.1% annually, while energy consumption increased just 3.3% per year. Energy intensity fell by 26.1%, making China one of the fastest globally to improve energy efficiency.
The dual carbon goals mark a transformative shift in the economy and society. In wind, solar, hydro, energy storage, and electric vehicles, China leads many developed nations, demonstrating its determination and its contribution to global harmony between humanity and nature.
National parks are central to this effort, serving as biodiversity strongholds. China's first 5 national parks span from western highlands to southeastern hills, and from northeastern snowfields to island rainforests. Together, they protect over 30% of China's wildlife species, spanning 230,000 square kilometers of China's most beautiful and diverse landscapes. Through steadfast toil, the land bears witness. China's green modernization unlocks vast opportunities for a sustainable and thriving future.